Hello and welcome to Business Made Simple. I'm your host, Tim Mansour, and my co-host and wife.
We are live here on Business RadioX, where we are broadcasting from the Subaru of Gwinnett studio. Today's podcast is so exciting for us. It is about fitness, but our podcast is Business Made Simple, and we want to make today's podcast about fitness made simple. So it is about the physical and mental connection of business and how those can be everyday tools that you use to make yourself more effective, more productive, and just a better business person.
As Chrystal said, this is going to be different. We are Business Made Simple, but what we're going to do is give you another tool that we think a lot of people miss. It's a tool that can help you handle stress better. We feel it can make you feel better, and that's something that a lot of people seem like they let go. As we're growing up every day, what do the parents say? What does everybody say? Get your education, go to school. I mean, we've got people, they'll go from high school to college, getting a doctorate and everything else, but they leave out the physical aspect, and that's what we want to talk to you about today. We ask our mind as we train it and we teach it to give us information all the time, to work all the time. Well, we also ask our body to do the same. We're sitting there saying, we want you to get up in the morning and feel good, and we don't want to be aching, and we want you to handle the stress, but we seem like we don't help it do that. So what we're going to talk about today is the benefits of not just being mentally strong, but also being physically strong. Chrystal and I have been in the fitness industry for many years. 50 plus years, I guess, if you count us together. We owned fitness centers for 30 years and dealt with a lot of different people. I myself have dealt with, I remember in Rome, Georgia, I dealt with two kids, one of them 7 and one of them 9, that were actually professional skiers. And their parents came to me and said, gosh, we've got to get their legs stronger. So we set up a program just for them to get their legs stronger. I've had people come to me that were 75 or 85 and said, look, I want to get off my cane. We work with them to get them off their cane. There's so many things that you can do, but you have to work it. It's just like the mind, it's just like the body. They're both made to be worked. We don't sit there and just say, don't worry about going, getting any smarter. You're okay, or don't use your brain. The same is with the body. You have to work it to let it respond the best way it can. So we feel if we put these two together, it will make it easier to be successful and handle the everyday stress, not just in your business, but in everyday life. So that's what we're going to be talking about a lot today.
You're right, Tim. We have helped people of all ages, of course, with fitness being our business for so many years, 30 plus years, and our combined education and training and experience is close to probably a little over 60 years. I know I've been teaching group fitness classes for 35 years, something that I am so passionate about and I completely enjoy. You've been working out and, of course, running businesses for 30 plus years and working out since probably in your teens. But it's something that's super important to us, and we both feel that it has helped us along the way in all of the businesses that we've done and that we've been successful in and that we run even today. So the world just keeps spinning. It keeps sometimes feel like it goes faster and faster, and the better you feel about yourself and your body, and of course, the better you're going to perform each day. But we've worked with athletes, we've worked with kids, we've worked with young adults, we've worked with seniors. I know you said that you've worked with a couple of young kids that were water skiers. We also worked with a young girl that was wanting to go into the Olympics for ice skating. Of course, we worked with tennis players and even the Georgia Force football. You provided a facility at our Lawrenceville location for them to be able to work out as a team.
That's true, yes. And we've dealt with a lot of different people. We've heard a lot of different excuses. Just to give an example, at one of our clubs in Lawrenceville, Georgia, we had a guy that would come in, and you might have heard of him, but he actually had no legs or arms, and he would still crawl into the fitness center and exercise. So I guess what I'm saying is there's no excuses. If you're going to work one side, which is the brain, try both sides, and you see how much, I think, better it will be for you in all different ways. There's a lot of myths out there, and we're going to talk about myths of fitness. I think that's so important. Number one is, a long time ago, if you were a baseball player, if you were a tennis player, if you were a bowler, whatever you may be, you did not exercise with weights, because what they would always tell you is that you would get muscle bound. That is 100% a myth. In today's world, if you're an athlete of any type, I don't care what you're doing, if you're bowling, if you're playing tennis, if you're hitting a golf ball, every single one of these people are on some type of regimen that has to do with weights. It makes your body stronger. As long as you're stretching, you're not going to get muscle bound, especially if you're doing the right weighted lift. There's a lift for every type of person. I'm not going to teach someone that is playing tennis the same way as I'm going to teach someone that's playing football. I'm not going to show someone that is maybe a golfer the same thing as a tennis player. Everything is different, but it's out there for you. So the myth is that weightlifting is not good for certain people.
We talk about, Tim, men and women both need to be lifting weights, and it's so good for a lot of different reasons for men and women. Some of them are a little bit different, but a lot of the questions that we get, I know women are shy about lifting weights, but a lot of the questions that we get is that I don't want to lift weights, I'm a female, I don't want to get big, I don't want to gain weight, and so I don't want to do it. So they sometimes shy away from that part of a workout program.
Right. I think, to be honest with you, women to lift weights is probably more important than men. And I'm going to say this for a reason. Number one is you're not going to be built like a man unless you're taking a supplement or a steroid or something that will boost your metabolism and boost your testosterone. You're not built the same way as a man is, and you don't have the same makeup. So you will not build muscle size like a man. So is it good for you? Yes. And it's good for you for a lot of reasons. As we know, women do have more body fat than men. So if you're lifting weights the right way, high reps, low weight, but high reps, you're going to be burning body fat. You're going to be toning up. You're going to help make your bones stronger, your muscles stronger. It is a great way for women to change their body in the way that I think they would enjoy. A lot of people you'll see all the time, and another myth we talk about is you'll see on TV on all these little ads about taking this and doing this and using this machine, everything's going to be perfect. There is no magic pill out there. It's not going to happen. It's almost like when you think about that, think about why don't they get on TV and say, take this and you don't have to go to school anymore. You're going to be smart. It's going to take care of your brain. It's not going to happen. And it's the same way with fitness. You have to take care of yourself. There's no one else, no matter how much they love you or you love them, that can take care of two parts of your body. Number one is the brain, and number two is the body. So you have to make sure that you do it yourself. And we're not asking you to be Mr. America or Miss America. We're asking you to take 30 minutes to 45 minutes tops, maybe 3 days a week, to do something so that you will handle stress better, that you will feel better, that you will make things happen. And I think it will help you unbelievable. It has helped Chrystal and I both. I mean, we've had a lot of stress on us at different times, and I feel like if we were not exercising and we were not doing things for our body, we wouldn't have been able to handle it. So that's just real important.
Well, Tim, we were in the business for so long. Fitness was the actual business that we ran. Our members were just so super special to us, but a lot of people do still ask us, even today, do we need to join a gym or hire a personal trainer to be successful in losing weight or getting fit?
Right. Let me say this. Number one is we loved Fitness International. We had thousands of members. We were there for 30 years. You do not have to join a gym to to get fit. You don't have to have a personal trainer. If you give me a chair and in a room, I can get you in shape by using that chair. If you give me a jump rope, I can do that. If you want to do push-ups or sit-ups, there's a lot of things you can do at home, so you don't have to. Now, I enjoy going to the gym. I like it because I like to see what's new. I love different equipment. I always love shocking my body, and we'll talk a little bit about that in a second. But the most important thing is you have to do what's good for you. You have to find out what makes it easy for you to make this thing happen and make it simple. The last thing I want you to do is get up and say, and I've had this happen so many times, I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do, Tim. I'm going to quit smoking, and I'm going to work out 5 days a week, and I'm going to get up at 5:30. That is not going to happen. I mean, over time, it's just not going to happen. You have got to make something where you're comfortable with it. You don't mind doing it, because the reason that most people quit is they either get bored with it, they dread it, or it's not convenient. So it needs to be convenient. It needs to be where you don't get bored, and to do that, you need to be making changes all the time. But you just got to make it where in the mornings or in the evenings when you're going to do it, you don't want to think, gosh, I worked out 4 hours yesterday or 5 hours or 3 hours, and now I've got to do it again. 30 minutes to 45 minutes is all we're asking for.
You know, Tim, this podcast is about business made simple, and I guess because the fitness aspect and feeling good is very important to us, staying healthy. So we wanted to make fitness and people share what we know about the mental and the physical part of fitness to be part of their business and part of their everyday life and part of what they do and with their families or outside their home or at work. We wanted to share that part of the fitness connection and the puzzle that will help make them be successful and healthy, reminding people that becoming fit should be simple at first. If they've never done it before or they're a sedentary person and they ask, how do I get started? Feel free to reach out on our website and ask us tips or strategies or maybe just simple questions about how to get started. But making it simple, and as you said, Tim, joining a gym sometimes isn't always the right decision at first. You might want to start on a walking program or a running program. You might want to start with maybe just some meditation or yoga. You can Google everything. YouTube is absolutely fabulous. You can start off with small little programs for beginners on your TV, something that simple. But just reminding people that there are more benefits for the physical and the mental fitness than not. And the benefits are feeling good, looking good. You have more energy, more stamina. It makes you stronger. It provides you stress relief. That is so important. A lot of people really don't understand that working out, even just in a walking program, something simple, helps you relieve so much stress. It gives you more mental clarity, more confidence, helps you fight disease, and so much more.
Exactly. And let me say this. I've met a lot of people that are so mentally strong and they're very educated, but physically you can tell it's wearing on them. Now, I'm not saying you're going to be successful if you do both, but I can tell you this, it will be a lot easier to be successful and handle stress if you do some type of exercise. And then again, we're talking about 30 to 45 minutes so that you don't dread it the next day and that you can do it and do something that you enjoy and changing it up. As a little while ago, I was talking about shocking the body. You know, the biggest thing about your body and your brain is if you do the same thing over and over, it gets used to it and then it stops responding. So let's say, I exercise 4 days a week, let's say, or whatever, and I do a lot of different weights and different things. But if I go out tomorrow, and let's just say I chop wood, or I go out tomorrow and pick out of a garden, I do something different, I'm going to be sore. And that's kind of good for you because what you're doing is you're shocking your body and making it handle the change, and you want to do that. A lot of times I go into the fitness centers and I'll see the same guys doing the same workout over and over and over. And if it's the bench press, you're on there for hours, or if you're doing group fitness, you need to change it up. So number one is it changes for your body, and also you don't get bored with it. You know, a lot of times you'll hear these people, and you'll hear especially, and I'm not cutting anybody down, but these actors, they go in the gym, they'll tell you they worked out 6 days a week, 5 hours a day, and all this and that. Guys, let's get real with it. If you're in there 5 hours a day, you're usually sitting there talking some of those times. You're not sitting there working out 5 hours a day. I go into a gym, 45 minutes later, I'm out. A lot of times I've got the same guys, not cutting them down, doing the bench press for 45 minutes, talking about it every 5 seconds or 5 minutes or whatever else. What I'm saying, in today's world, we're all running a little crazy. Get in and get out so you don't dread it, because what I'm looking at is for the rest of your life. I'm not looking at next month and this and that. I'm looking at exercising for the rest of my life. I have people ask me all the time, Tim, you know, what kind of diet are you on, or how much do you work out, and when you do this, when you do it. I'm 24/7. I just do it naturally, just like I get up and make the bed up. I'm going to do my exercising, and I'm going to watch what I eat, and we'll talk a little bit about that also.
Well, I know we talk a lot about kind of getting started and what the physical part of fitness is about, but sometimes it's about breaking old habits. A lot of people, it's just hard for us to break habits. The older we get more set in our ways. It's just hard to break some old habits. So becoming fit, there's a few aspects. If you just make it simple and you just try not to overdo it, like you said, if you told me I had to work out 5 days a week, 5 hours a day, I probably would dread it. I never would do it. As much as I enjoy exercising and being fit, I would dread it, and I probably would not do it. But sometimes it's just about breaking old habits to get started to be able to make a new plan.
All right, we're going to talk about breaking habits. I think some of you are going to like this. As we were all coming up, usually you'll always hear your parents say, eat everything on your plate. You're usually going to eat 3 meals a day, eat everything on your plate. I think 100% we don't need to do that. 99% of the people in America, we eat more than we need to. You know, have you ever seen people, they'll go and they'll get lost in the woods and they're gone for 2 weeks, or they get out on the ocean, they get lost. You never hear of them saying he starved to death or she starved to death. What you'll hear is maybe she got dehydrated or he got dehydrated. We need water, but we don't need as much food as we think we do. So I'm going to give you a couple of tips that I think will help you. If you're trying to eat smaller portions, which is smart, the next time you sit down to eat and you have a full plate, I want you to cut that plate in half mentally and just look at half of the plate. I want you to eat half of what's on that plate. Then I want you to stand up, go to the restroom, wash your hands, walk back and sit down. You will be amazed how full you are. It takes the brain 3 to 5 minutes to tell your stomach that you're full. So a lot of times we sit down, we eat the whole meal, and what's the first thing you want to do next? You want to go sit on a chair and rest, because what's really happening is your body is trying to work off what you just ate, and it's working double time. If you take smaller portions in, number one, you don't stretch your stomach. Number two is your body will work it off that much quicker. Now, Chrystal's a little over 100 pounds. I'm a little over 200 pounds. We still eat about the same as we sit down, but I might eat 5 or 6 times, where she might eat 4 times. So your body does not need as much as Americans as we think it does. So that's number one, to try that. Number two is we don't need biggie sizes anymore. When you go through Wendy's, if you're gonna, don't biggie size it. Don't go to these buffets all you can eat. We do not need that much food. If you'll eat smaller portions and eat more times, you don't need to have 3 meals. I mean, I don't think I ever eat 3 meals. I think I eat 5 or 6, but they might be small meals. So that is a big part of the American way, is how much food you get, and we need to cut that back. A lot of times when Chrystal and I go out to eat, I'd say 90% of the time we split. And you think you want more and you need more, but if you would just take the time to let your body digest it, you'll be very surprised. Another thing that I think that would really work, and it's something, again, your parents told you to do, but I'm saying not to do. I'm the type person, when I get hungry, I get ordinary. I mean, I'm just crazy. I'm ready to eat.
Hangry, is that what they call it now?
Exactly. Yeah, Chrystal knows I'm ready to go. Now, the thing that I do that I think is real important is I do what my parents told me never to do. I mess up, I guess you want to say, or my meal. I take a break by eating something, a snack, before I eat. So they always used to tell you, don't eat before that, because you're going to, have a, where you're not. You're
going to ruin your dinner.
Ruin your dinner. That's what they'd always tell you.
That's
But that, to me, is the smartest thing to do, because the last thing I want to do is sit down and just stuff my face. So what I'll do is, Chrystal will be making something to eat. I'm hungry. I'll go get it. I don't care if it's a graham cracker. I don't care if it's a little peanut butter little cracker, whatever. I do something to kill the appetite before I eat, so then I don't feel like I'm just starving when I sit down. It's like going into a grocery store hungry. That's the last thing you want to do, because you're going to buy everything you don't need. So if you will just kind of take a little break, take a little snack, eat something, so that when you do sit down, that you're not just overeating. Again, we're big on portion size as much as anything.
Well, as we talk about breaking old habits, and for a lot of people that's really hard, so you have to be mindful and just start out small. But as we talk about breaking habits, we talk about lifestyle changes. We talk about things that are going to be now that could last for the rest of our life, rather than something that you're going to do for 3 or 4 days and then stop. But so, breaking old habits is really a kind of a starting point for a lot of people.
Exactly. Another thing, let me say this, and I remember my sister, we would talk about this sometimes. She said, well, I'm going to go on a diet and all I'm going to eat is salad. Have you ever seen somebody eat a salad that everything on top of that salad, it's so much salad and so much toppings and everything else, and then you get the dressing and you're pouring it all over it. Another little tip that you might want to try is, a lot of people like Thousand Island, or a lot of people like blue cheese, whatever it may be. Instead of putting it on your salad, put it beside your salad in a little bowl, dip it with your fork, and then eat it there. you will probably eat a quarter of that dressing compared to eating it all. So it's just being a little smart, not being crazy with it, and think about it as a lifetime. Don't not think about it as I'm gonna do this and until next week. Do it for a lifetime, because when you expect something out of your brain that you've worked all your life, you're expecting to get it. When you're expecting off of your body, it will give it to you, but you have to help it out also. And I think that's so important.
And with that being said, lifestyle changes is, kind of are the next step for that. Finding things that you love, something that you're passionate about doing, whether it's just something as simple as walking. I know that, with us being in the clubs for so many years, it was always right there for us every day. So that did make it easy for us. But for some people, they're like, well, I don't want to join a gym. I don't know if I'll last. I don't know if it's something I'm going to enjoy. So I think finding the passion in the lifestyle changes as people kind of groom themselves to do that is something that it needs to be considered, and it needs to be something that's simple.
Right. And I do think that in a way you have to be a little selfish. I mean, we meet a lot of mothers that they have kids, they're running 24/7s. The fathers are working early until late, or the wives are working early to late. You just never know. But what you have to remember is, as I said before, nobody in this world can take care of your body and your mind but you. No matter how much I love my family, my mother was not going to exercise. That's it. So no matter what I tried to do, that was not going to happen. So you have to be a little selfish and say, okay, I'm going to do all that I need to do, but I'm going to take 30 minutes out of this day for me, because in the long run, you're the only one that can handle that. So I just think that's important. We're not looking for you to be Superman or superhuman. We're looking for you to do a little work to help you handle stress, handle your business better, handle your life better, and feel better. And that's what it's all about.
Well, I agree, because I've also shared the same advice for my family and some of my friends. You are worth 30 minutes a day. That 30 minutes a day, if it's not actually doing a workout, meditation or some type of stretch program, yoga is super big, and it's so good for your body because it's all about flexibility. So you are worth 30 minutes a day, and just kind of decide what you want to do with it.
Exactly. Just enjoy it, make it happen, and I think you'll see so many benefits out of it. And again, make it where you do not dread it. That's so important, and always making a change. Another thing too is you're going to be changing your exercise programs from 20 years old. I mean, I deal with 20-year-old kids that are saying, gosh, I want to get bigger and stronger. I want bigger arms and bigger, all the way to 70s or 80s or 90s, whatever it may be. You can do something. We used to have the silver sneakers. I mean, they were some of these guys 60 years old up to 90 years old exercising. But I can promise you, if you exercise, it will make you feel better and be able to handle so many different things in your life that your body and your mind can handle. It needs working, because that's what it's made for. If you remember, think about this. As you get older, what do they tell you about your brain? They'll tell the older people, do crossword puzzles. You think they're telling them to do that for nothing? They're telling them because what is that doing? It's exercising the brain. So the same thing with the body. You just need to understand that both were made. God given them both to us, gave us both of them. They're both made to exercise, and all we're asking is 30 minutes 3 times a week, maybe 45 at the most. Change it up, and you will feel like a new person.
Well, I definitely think exercising is a big part, and it's such a trend now. You don't really need to think of it as a trend, but it is very popular because there's so many different kinds of exercise now. I think that exercising in your 20s, your 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, and beyond, your life will change, just like your workouts would change. Your body will change. It's really important to kind of know that what I did in my 20s, I'm really not interested in doing in my 50s. I'm so sorry. I thought maybe I was a little younger
30s,
than what I
40s,
was, but I'm not. That's right. So exercising is different. So if you just get the mindset that if you take it slow, you find something you like, you make it convenient, it will happen. It will happen for you, and you will love all of the benefits. So making your body and your mind your business is super important. I know a lot of people say, well, I don't own my own business. I really don't need that because I don't own my own business. But there's so many people in today's world that work for big companies. They might be in a management position. They might be, trying to get ready for a big presentation. Maybe they're in a sales job. those stresses are huge. They're very, very big for people. So I think finding your niche and finding your way and finding your passion, making it convenient to be fit mentally and physically, goes a long way.
Well, I want to say this. Let's talk a second about the stress. I mean, people talk about getting cancer or getting some kind of different things in their life, but let me tell you, stress will kill someone as quick as anything. So I don't care if you're in any business or if you're not doing anything. If you're living life, you're going to have stress. So the more you exercise, the more that can take the stress off of you. The next thing we're going to talk about a little bit is nutrition. Now, this is something that you've got to be careful with, because I meet a lot of people and I deal with a lot of people that they read every single label on everything. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with it. We read labels, but don't get so crazy. Remember, keeping it simple. That's what our business is that we talk about. This is what our fitness is about. The big thing that you want to keep away from and stay away from is a couple things. If you'll look at your sodium, that is something that can hold weight on you. The amount of carbs that you eat, the fats, things like that, and carbonation. I meet a lot of people that I'll just say, hey, get off the diet. I don't care if it's diet or regular. Instead of it drinking 6 carbonation drinks a week, don't stop it. Go to 3 and you'll see a difference. I've had one of my best friends, got off sweet tea, went to half and half, and he lost 10, 12 pounds. So make it simple. Don't make it so hard that you're not going to stick with it. That's so important.
Well, you're right, because carbonation does hold fluid. It makes you kind of feel bloated. And if you just try to make that lifestyle change to maybe cut back a little bit, once you start feeling good and feeling better and feel that that's made a difference, you'll be able to even go the next step further, maybe even eliminate those out of your diet altogether. But you're right, Tim. I am a label reader. I love to cook. Probably one of my favorite things to do. That's kind of my stress reliever too. But I read labels, but I don't go crazy with it. You're right. I look at the sodium contents in something. I'm not really a box person making a meal. But if I do find something that I like, then I'm also looking at the amount of carbs in something. The healthy part of the lifestyle is your diet as well as fitness. So I'm not a carb counter, but I do look at the amount of carbs that are in something. Had surgery many years ago, and it affected my pancreas, and so I really have to be careful with the carb contents and how many that I take in a day. So that's a lifestyle change that I have had to make through the years, and really kind of do my due diligence and learn as much as I can about that lifestyle and the diet that I need to prepare myself to be able to hopefully live till I'm 100. But I also look at the fats in something, so I cut it off at that. That's what I do. I look at the sodium, the carbs in something. I'm kind of mindful about my sugar. I look at the fats, and I make choices from there.
Well, I tell you, and Chrystal, I've got to say this. I mean, she is a terrific cook. I mean, she can cook.
Thanks.
Yeah, just unbelievable. But when she does cook, she cooks enough where if we do have a surprise of 25 people, they could eat with us. The thing is, people ask me, how do I stay in some type of, in my 200s where I'd like to stay around 202, 205. And the only reason and the only way I do it is what I had said before. I make sure that I do not sit down, because her food is delicious. I mean, I would love, sometimes I want to eat 2 or 3 plates, but I will break that little bit by just having a little snack before, and I'll eat those small portions. And I cannot say enough about small portions, because, again, I've had so many people say, well, gosh, all I've eaten is a salad, but the salad was enough for 5 people. So you just got to be careful. Stay with your portions. Enjoy it, make it fun, change it up so you don't get bored with it. And remember, this is so important. You are the only person in this world that can take care of 2 parts of yourself. That's your mind and your body.
Well, Tim, there's so many ads. We talked about this in the beginning. There's so many ads about, fad diets, pills, supplements, fat burners, shakes. Intermittent fasting is super popular right now. Cleansing products, on and on and on. You just have to be careful, be smart, use common sense. If you try something and it's not working, or you start to feel bad on it, don't do it. Maybe look for another thing, but also seek guidance when you need it. Seek advice. Do your due diligence, especially if you're in a high-risk group, maybe for some health problems. If you have medical issues, we definitely want you to consult your physician before you start an exercise program or you make a big change in your lifestyle and your diet. So exercise is key to that, and we just say start small before you begin, and we wish you good health. We wish you success. We hope this has helped you in the pursuit of business and being successful and being happy. And we are just hoping the best for you as life goes forward, and we wish you nothing but great health.
That's right. And also, if you and Chrystal will give you the information, email us any questions that you have about anything. I mean, we will help you any way we can, and just want to help make things happen, and let's get healthy in America.
That's right. I hope you enjoyed another episode of Business Made Simple. You can listen here on Business RadioX or your favorite podcast app. Visit us on our website at www.mansour, that's MANSOUR, international.com to catch up on all of our episodes. We look forward to talking to you again here on Business Made Simple. And until then, watch what you wish for. It might come true.